Hey people, welcome to Sad Panda Presents. This is a podcast about music. We're going to discuss different albums that we're listening to. Right now we're off the list and we are talking about Run the Jewels 4. Why? Because we feel like it. Fair warning, we may use coarse language or say offensive shit. So I'm Andrew.
I'm Shane.
And hey, we have Nate with us again today. What's up, man?
Hey guys, what's going on? How you guys been?
Hi, Nate. How you doing, bub?
I'm doing good. I'm on vacation this week, so got 11 days off for the price of 5.
Fucking ACOT.
Fuck yeah, double down. Hell yeah.
How was everybody's holiday?
It was good. My in-laws bought me this album for Christmas on vinyl, so
Oh, fuck yeah.
kind of rolls in. Yeah.
Nice, man. Nice.
Hell yeah. You got some cool ass in-laws. I got some socks and underwear and shit.
So, what's up with you, Shane? How was your holiday?
Oh, good. Nothing crazy. Kind of just, the week before when we got out, I was supposed to pick up my son that Friday, but as it turns out, my mom had gotten exposed Tuesday or Wednesday, and so I was around my parents. So basically, we had to kind of sit it out for a little bit because I didn't want to get anybody crazy. So I was supposed to get him on Friday, and then so we waited till like Tuesday to get tested, and then I went up and picked up Ash, and came back here. We had Christmas here with just my parents and I, kind of hung out and stuff like that. Just didn't do a whole lot, just kind of kicked it. Took him back, and then after that, my brother and my sister both came down when we were at the lake, and we had New Year's Eve together. And man, was New Year's Eve fucking cold.
Yeah,
it
was.
Okay, so I'm in South Texas, and I'm I'm a skinny ass dude. So anything below 70 is fucking freezing to me.
Yeah.
I was waiting for the number to hear how cold it was.
Yeah, no, don't get it fucked up. Talk at me when you're at 110 degrees every day for a month. I don't fuck with the cold. I live down here for a reason, and that cold shit ain't it. So, my brother-in-law Joe came down, and he wanted to hunt, and my brother Sammy's gotten real big into it. So we wake up on New Year's Eve day at 4 o'clock in the morning, and we're going to go hunt. Man, it was 40 degrees and raining. It was fucking miserable. It was fucking miserable.
Yeah.
The whole ride up there was terrible. We had to sit in the camp house. We made a fire for till 8:30 in the morning, and I was like, why the fuck are we awake before... I'm on vacation. I don't have to wake up at 5:45 every goddamn morning anymore. Why the fuck are we up? This is stupid. We just to come here and sit down. Look at you fucking idiots.
Yes.
Anyway, long story short, we made the best out of it, and we had a good time. My brother went home the next day, and then we went back, and I tried to guide my brother-in-law Joe, but we didn't have any luck. We both shot and missed at 2 different deer. I'm like, God damn. But all in all, it was a good time. I didn't do any work, and should have, because damn, Monday was a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Anyway, what about you, bub?
Well, we took off for vacation the week before Christmas. Or I'm sorry, the week of Christmas. We just took those extra days off, and we drove our asses to the Grand Canyon. So that was fun. More people there than I expected. I don't know why I expected it not to be crowded. Fucking, we were traveling. Why wouldn't other people?
Did you guys go South Rim or North Rim?
That's a great question.
Oh, Andrew. He's always a South Rimmer.
Hey, South Rim's where it's at. It's got the big gaping holes down there.
Yeah. I think that's where we were at. We were in the we must have been, because we drove up from Flagstaff.
All right, yeah.
So we must have been on the South Rim. It was cool. Fucking the only restaurant that they had open for dinner and shit, we ate there a couple of times. And man, there's this I think it's a brewery in Flagstaff, and they carried this beer, and it was, I guess, their seasonal beer, and it was this cherry vanilla porter, and I was like, give it a shot. Why the fuck not, right? Like, I'm not usually a porter kind of guy. Dude, this was bomb. This was amazing. Super good beer. I stopped at the liquor store on our way out of Arizona and picked up a 6-pack and brought it home with me. It's already gone, but it was awesome. And then Shane over here is bitching about his New Year's Eve day being cold, and I'm just like, well, I had to work, so use a bitch. And two, I got to work. One, and it's freezing rain. I mean, it's below freezing. It ain't no 40 degrees, motherfucker. It's 30. To the point that I got to work and I had to fucking chip the ice off the lock on the gate. And it sucked. It was a real shit day out in the middle of somebody's ranch. And then the freezing rain turned into snow, and then we had like a couple inches of snow.
Yeah, that's why when we went to the ranch, I pretended to be asleep. So my brother had to get out and open and do all that shit to the locks.
Yeah, man, it was not fun. Our wind technicians that work for the manufacturer are usually there before us, and they take care of all that shit. But they had the day off, so I was like, all right, well. So I sat in just a cold ass building. I mean, it's got heat, but like, everybody else likes it at like, the gates of hell cold, or ninth ring of hell cold, sorry, or whatever.
I believe there's only 7, sir.
Whatever, dude. The bottom one where it's all frozen.
Sir.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Works fine.
Somebody didn't fucking read Dante.
No, but I did watch the animated movie. It's a good movie.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. So I don't know. Shit's good.
So I wanted to ask you, Nate. I know you work for the was it the UPS or is it
It's UPS,
UPS, yeah. How was it before you got those days off?
It wasn't too bad. I mean, it's busy because it's peak season, but the couple days before Christmas actually are a little bit slower for warehouse workers because we're just worried about getting the air out. So, like the next day air shit. So, like, it's hell for the drivers. They're out till like 10 p.m. on Christmas Eve, but they actually give us Christmas Eve off since we don't need to like load up the package cars for Christmas Day or anything like that.
Fucking A.
Yeah, because I feel like y'all went through like hell month between, all of November, like a month and a half between November and then like 10th or 15th of December ish.
Yeah, it gets pretty busy like right after Thanksgiving up until like the 21st, 22nd, depending on how the weekends fall and shit like that.
Oh, it's even later. Oh, it's later than I thought. Okay, I knew you. I couldn't even imagine what you guys go through because. Good Lord, especially this year because everybody had the mail-ins and all that kind of stuff and making sure those ballots are there and all that kind of crazy shit. I felt like y'all need a gold star or a cookie or fucking some kind of
now we're shipping out the vaccine. Now we're dealing with the vaccine. And then the second wave of stimulus checks, that's going to probably up our volume too. It's going to be busy for a little bit. And then in February, everybody returning their workout equipment when they give up on their goals. Like that legit happens every year, every February.
I never thought about that, but that's amazing. Like,
that's fucking awesome.
We're still in our 30-day return window. We need to send this back now.
You said 90 days, bro. This is 90th day.
That's funny.
I never thought of that, but that's a fun things to think about. How fun.
Oh man, the insight you gain from talking to people in other industries, man. It's fun. Also, I've got a cookie for you.
You've got a what?
Except cookies or block.
Well, it just depends. I was talking about sexual favor, but if we're doing this over the web, I guess you got to accept my cookies, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, did you?
Hello. There we go. Okay, and we're back. All right, freaking out.
We don't have to start over.
No, we're good.
Okay, great.
We're good.
Fantastic.
Just Andrew has to do more work. That's all. So, yay.
Not really. I'll just.
It's fine.
I was just gonna say, fucking delete that file and we'll start over. I don't give a shit.
Nah, we're good.
We're
good.
So, why the fuck are we talking about Run
Why
the
the
Jewels?
fuck are we talking
It's
about
this
Run
is
the
a Shane
Jewels?
pick, right?
Well, because Jules. Well, because
Because we were supposed to do this last month.
yeah, but we said fuck it.
Well, I mean,
so
go ahead.
well, I mean, just schedules didn't line up, and technically December is my birthday month, so I wanted to do a fucking hip hop album for sure.
Yeah,
Anyway, but we're doing. But I think the reason I want to do Run the Jewels, because I know Nate is a fan. I believe you're a fan, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Obviously,
yeah.
And also, I think since we're at the end of the year, that this album for me is like one of the best albums that came out of this year. And I've listened to. I did a lot of research. I mean, I did some research. Looking into like the different albums that were out and different people's lists of best albums, and this usually ended up around somewhere between number 1 and number 8 on everybody's list.
Gotcha.
And really, the one that surprised me that the one that beat this one out more often than I was kind of surprised to see was Fiona Apple came out with an album this year, and that one was like number 1 or number 2, number 3 on everybody's list, which was very strange. Oh,
I can get down with some Fiona Apple.
Look,
though.
It's a good album and it's very unique,
but
and
not
I
better
haven't
than
heard Fiona.
Run the Jewels.
Look, it's a good album and it's very unique, and I haven't heard Fiona with the new one in a hot minute, but I really, 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 I think this album is more poignant toward kind of how everybody feels about 2020.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Got a lot of as
animosity.
As the whole well, I mean, it starts out with there's a lot of there is a lot of angst and pissed offedness, if you will.
Understandably so.
Throughout.
I mean,
but then there's also a lot of self-reflection, and I think that's what I think his last year sucked big dick. I mean, everybody knows this, right? Everybody's been there.
Yeah.
But also,
I mean, I had an all right year.
You fucking twat. No, hooray for you, asshole.
It was a joke, sir.
Was it?
Well,
Was it?
I mean,
No,
it was,
you actually did have a pretty good
it
year.
was said in a joking way. I had a good year, but I mean, like, I understand the pain of 2020. Like, I felt that too.
For sure.
With the COVID, specifically. I'm not black, so I have a more difficult time relating to the injustice felt by that community for sure. Because I'm a fucking there's no getting around it. I fucking grew up privileged as shit, so like it's difficult to relate to what somebody that grew up poor and black went through. You know what I mean? That being said, like it's not like I don't have empathy. For sure, like I mean, he talks about a lot of serious shit that happened, including the Minneapolis police choking that man out, all that stuff, and the riots and the Black Lives Matter movement, and he gets political in some points, and I have my own animosities towards our political system, so I can totally relate to that, just in a different way, I think. But yeah, anyway, I mean, yes, it was a joke, and no, it wasn't. I'm actually very appreciative that I stuck out through a new job all year and did well with it. So,
and not that I mean, I didn't mean it. God, the gravity really increased.
No. I don't know anything about Sandra Bullock, but I can relate to 2020 being a rough year for people.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna go more with John Mayer. Again,
fair point.
We're both a couple people. We were talking about fucking white people.
Fair point.
But I just think that this album is very of how it's gone through. I think really towards the climate, social climate, because we've all had to sit here at the things that go on.
Right.
And just, right place, right. Not only that, but I love their albums a little bit.
Right.
I agree with you there. I do want to, before we get deep into it, I do want to give a quick.
Yeah, I was going to ask, but go ahead. What do you feel about what we should talk about this album, Nate.
Oh, well, I was just going to say before that, I wanted to give a quick shout out to my Secret Santa for Tadpog. They fucking killed it this year.
Yeah? What'd you get?
So, yeah, I got a Rush album and then like a ceramic ocarina that you could drink chocolate milk from, if you get what I mean.
Nice. That's legit.
Nice.
I just wanted to get that out before we started. That was in I should have brought that up when you were asking how I was doing, but
no, man, it's
just kind of glance.
It's all good. I had to bow out this year for Tadpog Secret Santa just because a lot of shit going on with the travel and the fucking dogs in the house. Like fucking dude, home ownership is just project after project. it's a bitch. I like doing that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty handsy. You know what I mean? And I like doing that kind of shit, but at the same time, it's like sometimes I want to break, and yeah, so I bowed out this year, but I'll be back in it next year for sure. I got some badass shit years before.
I'm just terrified at doing like a Secret Santa because I'm like fire and ice, man, with like gift giving. I'm either fucking dead on 1,000% or I am dog shit. There is no in between.
Oh.
So I'm always terrified. Like when I have to buy people stuff, I'm like, oh shit, I'm either gonna crush it or I'm going to whiff real fucking hard. So I don't trust myself to do that.
I mean, the couple years that I participated in the Tadpog Secret Santa, when you got the person you were gift giving, it also had like their favorite video game and their hobbies and shit like that. So if they collect
anything or size of T-shirt, stuff like that.
So it's real easy to pull a cop out and just be like coffee table books. That's what I did for Mike Lanham, and I also drew a nice little. I also wrote him a letter and drew a nice welly, penis wearing a vest and hat or monocle or some shit like that.
Nice. Something fancy.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, it's kind of hard to fuck up with that because you've got all that information where you can just be like, well, I can always do like a T-shirt or a coffee table book or something like that, and like. I know when I talked to him at, I think it was prom the following year, or maybe it was just like over Discord or something. He was like, "Hey, man, this was really cool." So
yeah, it's funny you say coffee table book because that's what I got last year was a coffee table book of like every console, like taken apart, it's showing you the chipset and everything like that. It was a pretty sick coffee table book. I got it from I almost said John Turley, Goodman. It's not John Goodman. God damn it.
Tom Goodman.
Yeah, John Goodman. Yeah. Tom Goodman. Yeah. Jesus. Pressure's on. I'm forgetting names.
No, man. I mean,
yeah, Tom Goodman. It was sick though.
I like a good coffee table book too, but I don't remember who the Secret Santa was, and it kills me for not remembering this. But one of the years I got this like little shadow box diorama and it's it's an overhead of the map of. I think Zelda 2, but I'm not sure exactly off the top of my head. It was sick though, and it lights up and shit. It's really cool.
Nice.
But yeah, now if you're in the Tadpog group, Secret Santa's legit as fuck. You'll get something cool and can give somebody something cool.
All right. Well, since I've derailed this already, I want to get back to it.
Fuck it, whatever. Okay, so first off, I want to ask you both. When did you first hear Run the Jewels? And Andrew, you're kind of out of the second part of this question. But what sold you to them?
So Run the Jewels for me, I didn't really get into or listen to it all until Run the Jewels 3, which dropped in 2016, if I'm not mistaken. And I just would hear a couple tracks off of that album and jived with that. And then when this album came out, like the whole thing it's really good. Like there's fun songs, there's socially aware songs, there's reflective songs, like you were saying. It's just an all around good album. So like after this album came out, I started going back and listening to their other catalog and kicking myself in the ass for not buying that Meow the Jewels vinyl. Have you heard of that? It's Run the Jewels with just like cat noises and shit like that.
You have cats on the tour bus. Meow, 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 meow.
It used to be like $80. Now I can't find it for less than $150. Like after this album exploded, like the popularity, like
no shit.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild.
I'm looking this up. Sorry.
What about you, Shane? How familiar are you with Run the Jewels?
I think I found them between 2 and 3, between RTJ2 and RTJ3. I'm not 100% sure because I remember listening to them. In fact, speaking of Tadpog, I remember when Dave used to do his Twitches and we would like put songs on. I remember.
Oh yeah, song request.
Yeah, and then I remember putting "Run the Jewels." I don't remember what it was, but I don't remember what the song was. But I remember I put that on there, and I was like, "Sorry, this is a bit lewd." It's like, oh yeah, "Run the Jewels" is very lewd. And but I do like them. I think between there and then, and I think the real thing that sold, like, because I heard them and I listened to them, and I was like, okay, they're good, but damn, they're like really intense. But the song that sold me to liking them is the song that they did with Gangsta Boo, which is "Love Again." And I don't know what the fuck the deal is with this WAP song in this year, because Gangsta Boo is the most raw person on that entire song. She says some crazy ass shit, and she is like, because the whole song's about fucking, like when you have sex and you're like, "I'll fuck you till you love me" kind of shit. And
Yeah.
Gangsta Boo has the fucking rawest bit in that whole song, and I fucking lost my mind. Ever since I heard that, I was like, okay, these guys are good. I want to fucking learn more, and ever since then, I was like, okay, yeah, this is my new, they're new top favorites. That, and they did that
And then,
Oh Mama, I think that was on 3. Yeah, on 3. Yeah, 3.
Yeah. Oh, they actually did a track on Cyberpunk 2077
Yeah,
too.
they did. Yeah, they did.
2077 also.
Neat.
2077 too just sounds.
So Meow the Jewels was a Kickstarter.
Really? It was a
Yeah.
Kickstarter?
So they were raising.
That's funny. I didn't know
So
that.
it says created by Meow the Jewels. So I don't know who did this, but it was somebody was raising $40K so that our two favorite artists, Killer Mark and LP, will remix Run the Jewels 2 with all cat sounds for the music. There were 2,828 backers, and they pledged $65,783 in 2015 to bring that project to life.
Nice.
So and they didn't even release the limited edition vinyl. All they had was fucking T-shirts and stickers and like posters and catnip. They had catnip, a lighter, a book of matches.
Nice.
You
can smoke your ooh la la with your catnip lighter.
For $500, you could submit a recording of your cat making cat noises, and get them to feature said cat noises on the album.
I'm just thinking of the backers like pulling on their cats' tails or whatever, just trying to get their cats to make some noise.
Dude, it's crazy. Like, I mean, I'm sure somewhere in there's like they keep mentioning an awesome surprise, Meow the Jewel surprise. I'm assuming that's what the actual vinyl was.
Yeah, you probably got the vinyl.
Yeah. But it doesn't actually explicitly say that they produced the vinyl. It's too late to support this, fellas. It's closed.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was doing a little research, and yeah, everything on eBay, the cheapest one is $150.
Yeah.
Plus $3.33 shipping.
That's actually cheap for a vinyl. Vinyls are pretty expensive to ship usually.
So
just because they're an awkward size.
But the other the only other
you're the authority. What? Oh, is it awkward size, or is there more like? Do you have to add like more padding, or like what?
I think it's just the size of it, like because they're like 12 by 12 by like a half inch. I think it's just
just oblong.
They're not designed. They're not designed to go through the USPS
okay
sorters, automated sorters. So they charge a little bit more. I believe.
Okay.
I could be speaking out of my ass.
Well,
but
plus you gotta add some
here.
padding there because like that shit. Yeah, it is what we do here, but that shit like is gonna get broken if you ship it. Like you gotta add some padding.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm fairly certain Shane's tried to make me listen to Run the Jewels before. I don't know. I don't know if you have or not, man.
I don't think I have, just because I know you're not a huge hip hop person.
Not really.
And this is very, very like in your face, kind
Raw.
of raw, fucking.
This gave me a mid '90s, anywhere from mid '90s to early 2000s kind of vibe. This album.
Yeah, it reminds me of like.
Go ahead.
It reminds me of like the rawness of Ice Cube with like the social awareness of Public Enemy.
Yeah,
It's like.
It's actually, I feel like it's the raw of NWA with the but with Public Enemy kind of social awareness kind of things. You know what I mean? Like, because, well, shit, let's get into it. Because, I mean, we open up with Yankee and the Brave.
yeah.
And that is a fucking strong, that is the strongest song. And it hits you like a wave of force.
Yeah. It comes in and just punches you in the mouth. I believe LP said that. Like, he just wanted it to punch you in the mouth right off the bat.
And it fucking does.
Set the mood, like, let you know what you're in for.
Yeah, it hypes you right the fuck up. Anyway, but hold on. But yeah, that definitely happens. And they do, I like the way that they pace this album. I like because you start with Yankee and the Brave, and then you slowly kind of de-escalate, and then we get from there, and then the album, it kind of calms down, slowly de-escalates, and then comes more self-reflective, and then at the end it ties back to the beginning of the album, which is, I love the idea when artists do this cyclic thing in their albums where the beginning and the end track all kind of blend together.
Yeah,
like a full, when it all comes full circle.
It's a loop. Yeah,
it's fucking gorgeous.
Cyclic. I have a question about Yankee and the Brave.
Go ahead.
Because I'm not familiar with this artist. It's titled Yankee and the Brave, Episode 4. Has he done this before? And this is the fourth iteration of like him doing this particular style, or is this just because it's the fourth album and this is a unique song to the album, but it's the fourth album, so that's why they called it Episode 4. Does anybody know that?
I do. Nate, do you know it?
To my knowledge, it's just because it's on RTJ4.
Yeah, it's the fourth. It's the fourth of their album, and their idea was they wanted to make, because again, when you all talked about the sound from like the early '90s, '80s ish, what they wanted to do was that they wanted to make introduction that sounded like it was from the early '80s. So like when we cut into the today on Yankee and the Brave, it sounds like an '80s, like an early '80s show, like Knight Rider or Dukes of Hazzard or something like that.
Yeah,
so they want to do that, and then but part 4 is because this is their fourth album, because they don't have proper album titles. It's just RTJ1, RTJ2, RTJ3, RTJ4.
Yeah, I picked up on that. I just wasn't sure if maybe so I guess being unfamiliar, I wasn't sure if maybe this was just like the way he does his albums, and he throws a Yankee and the Brave at the beginning of each one, and he's always this like bombastic and in your face, and the music is too.
This is very different from all their other albums.
Okay,
and the reason they Brave, like,
yeah,
you know what I mean, like Butch Cassidy and the Sun, that kind of vibe is LP is from Atlanta.
Okay,
so Yankees,
right,
from Atlanta, Yankee and the Brave, they just kind of
yeah.
That made a good fit for what they're trying to do.
Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah, and
a neat fact.
But before we get like real balls deep in this thing, Andrew, how did you feel about this album?
So
just as an overall thing.
Yeah, so like regular listeners will be aware that I was super not into hip hop in my youth, and have only warmed up to it in probably the last decade, but I don't seek it out. Just for a little background, this album, it's got highs and lows for me. Some of these songs I think are catchy. One of the things I like about hip hop in general is, man, does it give you some fun lyrics to fuck with. Like pull up my penis and piss on their boots in front of them. Like, it's so much fun. Like, I realize that it's in a serious context about a serious subject, and like that some of these lyrics are written out of pain, but sometimes they just know how to write in the funniest way. And I think that's
Like, bitch, we cool as penguin pussy on the Polar Cap
yeah.
Peninsula.
yeah.
The alliteration in that, man. The
Yeah.
alliteration in that is so fucking awesome. Especially because, like, I fucking love penguins. He said that shit, and I was like, oh my god, I fucking love you, Killer Mike.
So these guys are really good at that. They're really good at that. I noticed it several times. I have a hard time picking out lyrics to begin with. When you shoot them at me real fast and real hard, it's even harder. It's even more difficult. But that's where some of my appreciation lives. I will say some of the downsides I had with this were like a couple of songs. The beat was just not doing it for me. Some of them really did. Some of them did not. So I don't know. I don't know who's making all the beats. I don't know if they have a one person doing it or if it's a collaborative effort. I assume it's collaborative because they have so many guests on their album, which is also typical of hip hop.
Man, negative. LP makes all the beats.
Okay, all right. I didn't know.
Or for the most part, they kind of ghost to other people. Like they weren't a ghost, but they have other people who they attribute to making the beats. Like in Ooh La La, that is actually Greg Nice and DJ Premier.
Yeah,
they made that song.
Yeah,
and that's that Ooh La La, we, and they just sampled it and tracked it. But for the most part, I believe almost 100% of it is LP.
Okay.
Yeah, including Just, which features Pharrell, who's a producer.
Yeah.
And LP even did that one.
Yeah.
So there's some highs and lows. Anyway, there you go.
Yeah, but well, since we're on the subject, I listened to like kind of them being interviewed and talking about kind of their situation, and they really say that they're a group. Like they're a group. Like they idolize like Run DMC and like and stuff like that, where there were just two people who happened to have two MCs and one DJ making it happen. They just work so well together, and they just have such good chemistry as far as Mike can lay a track. Like in a couple of songs, LP he'll put down an idea, and then Mike will come in and say and encapsulate his entire verse with like one line.
Right.
And it's beautiful when you have that kind of chemistry with somebody else. You know what I mean? Like it's
for sure.
It's gorgeous. Like, and they just do it so well. I just think they're one of the best groups out there.
For sure. Okay.
Yeah, Killer Mike says, and I'll agree with him, there's not a better like rapper producer duo, like the two people just making music. I can't think of a better duo.
And think about it like this: like, how many hip hop or rap artists do you know that are in a group?
Yeah, like usually they do features or like maybe
in this, or they're on a fucking collaborate. The fact that they've come out that these two guys have made a rap group together, still going on. That's insane. Like outside of underground, I can't remember the last time two rappers were together who do those kind of things.
Yeah, there's like Bad Meets Evil with like M and Royce da 5'9", but I think that was only one album if I'm not mistaken. So it's not like it's a career. It's just like a project, I think.
Yeah,
but,
I
then there's like Hold the Throne with Jay-Z and Kanye, but I think that was just one song.
That Watch the Throne, that was a collaborative album with the two of them. But they don't like, they're not a group, you know what I mean? Like Watch the Throne.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got to I know like Atmosphere, got Slug and Ant. Slug is he's the rapper, Ant's the spinner. Ideas and Abilities. Ideas was the rapper, Abilities was on the turntables. But to be like especially now since they're so like popular, it's strange to see rap group, if that makes sense.
No, I get that. And that's how they prefer it too. Like Killer Mike doesn't want to go back to his solo shit. Like he said after rap music, like an LP did some of those songs on rap music. He's like, yeah, I'm never working with anybody else but this guy. So like,
oh yeah. There's a really good interview on a different podcast that I don't want to talk about because they're better than us. But
is it Song Exploder?
No,
I'll shout him out.
Broken Record. On Broken Record then again, it's Rick Rubin, who is the biggest fucking name in music production 30 years. He was the guy that that put Rum DMC and Aerosmith together. And they're talking to Rick Rubin about what they're doing. And Rick, he's interviewing them like, oh, go on. He's like, dude, you made us happen.
To be fair, if those two groups are going to work together, you need somebody like that in the middle.
For sure. And, it's fun because they both LP and Killer Mike, they have very textured backgrounds, but they were drawn to different things. And that's what I think is fun about what they do, is that they mix like this old school hip hop and this and rock together, and they do it well.
Yeah, it's like Yankee and the Brave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that's what. Yeah, Yankee and the Brave too. It's kind of just like a bro song, like we have each other's backs and.
Oh, all right. So I already talked about this.
I don't know if we're going straight down through it. I don't know.
I mean, we can go through highlights and stuff.
All right.
Are just going to gush all over this album.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell me what your highlights were, and we can talk about that from all over the place.
Sure. I mean, sure. I mean, I did like. To be fair, I liked most of this album. I thought that the chorus part of Ooh La La was kind of annoying. The Ooh La La, Oh Wee Wee, but I thought the actual song itself was really good. And not that it was so annoying, it was just, it went on about 2 Ooh La Las more than I would have liked it to, if I had been mixing it, but I'm not what the fuck do I know? I talk out of my ass about an album I've never heard before once a month. But I liked it. I liked...
Pick a song so we can talk about it.
Yeah, I'm talking about Ooh La La. It was,
Okay, so we're talking about Ooh La La. Okay. So it went on a little longer, but what is some good parts of it?
Well, I just liked the beat itself.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a is it a fun song? I don't know, but it's where I got the "I'll pull my penis out and piss on their shoes in public" line, which I thought was incredibly fun.
Isn't that hysterical?
Yeah, it is. It really is, though, Bragg.
My low subject. I put my penis out and piss on your shoes in public. That's fucking wow.
Loved it. Fucking loved it. Yeah, this song is the first one that just like Yankee and the Brave was fine, whatever. It didn't do a lot for me, but this one was the first one that like really grabbed me and held my attention. And it's the second song on the album, so that's a good sign.
So Nate, what you like about this song?
This song is just, it's fun, it's upbeat, it's good, like, I don't know, it's got a good beat to it, it's just, I don't know, it's just really fun, and LP has a really good line in there where he says, "I'm afraid of nothing but nothingness, ain't that something?" Like, I really like that line, like, that shit's pretty cool, and then,
Nihilistic
Killer Mike's whole Batman, yeah, Killer Mike's whole Batman rhyme scheme's pretty good too.
Oh my God.
Like,
it took me to like earlier this week. I didn't realize he was talking about fucking Batman.
Yeah, I used to think I'm Bruce, but live in the Vida Loca. Now I understand I'm probably more of a Joker. Like,
it took
and then
me,
something about inmates running the asylum. Like, yeah,
it took me like literally. I've been listening to this album since it dropped. I had no idea he was talking about Batman and Joker until like earlier this week. I was like, what the? Oh my God, Bruce fucking Wayne. Oh my God.
But yeah, it's just a fun song and it's just fun. It's fun.
For sure. I love the piano bit, and it's kind of like it's like eerily like hypnotic. Like doon doo doo doon 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 doon. It's kind of it's an easy feel to get into. You know what I mean? Like as far as they all brought in Greg Nice and DJ Palmer to to loop it into. So you are
yeah
both of them know. So just study up a little bit.
Yeah, there was a couple lines when I was going through it on Genius that I was like, oh, I didn't realize that was like a throwback to some other guy. You know, like I can't think of a specific one off the top of my head right now, but yeah, I was looking through Genius. I'm like, oh shit, like.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't think of one.
Yeah, but yeah. they absolutely just pull that shit out, and it's fucking phenomenal. I do like there was a line from Killer Mike where he says, "We are raw, we are raw oyster, steak tartare,
tartare.
sushi bar. I was like, oh my god, that's,
Yeah.
that's all the raw things that I know how to eat.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see you're a man of culture.
Life's a bitch, dirty bitch, still fucked her raw. Yeah.
Steak tartare, oyster on the half shell, sushi bar. and then later in the verse, LP he's talking about, it gets more into like social issues about how he feels that the upper society is feasting on the lower society, and there's a line he says, "You're suffering as scrumptious. They'll put your kids in the oven."
Yeah,
and that's like the percent feeding on the 99
And
percenters. Or
I feel like that's a theme that I picked up on several times in this album. Or I mean, maybe just Injustice in general. That's
There's a lot of social awareness.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they're not. They're very against the establishment. If you will.
Anti-establishmentarianism.
Sure.
Nailed it.
Got it in one, brother. Got it in one.
First try.
First try. I love that movie. Anyway, okay. So Andrew, you're gonna lead the likes.
Sure. I guess we're gonna just for a minute we're just gonna go down the line because Out of Sight's fun too. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I like. This is where you get the coolest penguin pussy on Polar Cap Peninsula line that Nate referenced earlier. Yeah, it is. It is. Fun song.
Yeah.
So one of the things that he does very well when he's writing his beats, you said LP writes the beats. If I remember correctly,
Yeah, he produces it. Yeah.
One thing he does on this album that's really fun, sorry, is he creates a very full soundstage. There's no empty space, and I mean that in a good way. There's not a point where you feel wanting in what he's got going on audibly. And I think Ooh La La, I probably noticed it, but this song and the next one, Holy Calamafuck, is where I really like that. Drove deep to me. Go for it. Also, Holy Calamafuck, favorite song title on the album. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, they actually did a live concert of RTJ4 on YouTube for Adult Swim. There was Holy Kalama Vote to get people to rock the vote, like get out there, vote, like bring awareness. Adult Swim's actually helped these guys a bit in their past. Like they did a lot of RTJ bumpers, I guess, when they actually met at Adult Swim, if I'm not mistaken, at like the Adult Swim studios. And now I'm telling a story that I don't know how it ends. So do you want to take over, Shane?
They did They did a Roman who does Rick and Morty. They did an animation for Oh Mama, and it looks like it looks like Jules and from
Vince Vega,
like fucker, and they fucking come back and it opens it gold.
Just the glow.
Yeah. But first time I remember they did it.
Oh god, those are the days. Every time I launch my Spotify, it's like, you can see her on the Jules in Flagstaff, Arizona on June 21st, 2021, or some shit like that. I'm like, oh, there might be an end in sight. Let's see.
Okay, so
and
we're
back.
Yeah, so we had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we were talking about Out of Sight.
Sure. And I do believe, and so on this song, 2 Chainz who, he's a rapper who does things now, and the fun thing that I heard about this song was Killer Mike was talking about it, and he said that 2 Chainz is a friend of his, and he didn't want to work with Killer Mike. What he wanted to do was be on the beat with LP. He's like, nah, man, I can rap with you whenever. I want to be on LP's track. So that's kind of so that was kind of a fun anecdote about that song. But anyway,
that's cool. LP getting the love. I feel like Killer Mike usually gets like 80% of the love from this group. Like he's always doing the interviews. And, yeah. Oh shit! I just might have. Am I still there? Still hear me?
Yeah,
you're here.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So
I thought I just heard a notification saying I fucked up.
It's all good.
Sage Francis all over again. No, but,
and we're back.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Anyway, and we're back. So what I like about this song is that there are a lot of like mob references, and I like that they intertwine a lot of things like mob movies and mob situations that go into here. But that's just me. Somebody else talk, please, and thank you about this song.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This was another one that I thought was just fun. Whether they meant it that way or not.
Yeah, and it's not a song that takes itself too serious either, so it's just like bouncy and kind of fun to just nod your head to, listen to.
From what I picked up, it didn't seem like it was super heavy.
No, they're not talking about a lot. They're just, I mean, again, the way they formulated this album is that they're still they're kind of winding down they go from hit you in the face, and they're kind of slowing down. We'll get there when they actually change demeanors. But this one's still like hype, having fun, like hit you in the face. And again, they hit all the mob ties whole song.
Right.
So,
yeah, it's just about like hustling and having fun on the streets and shit like that.
For sure. So, Nate, can you give me do you know any of the references they mention?
Ooh, put me on the spot. I not off the top of my head, no. I think is this the one that says "Bitch, honey, bunny, be cool," like from Pulp Fiction?
Yep.
Is that
Bitch,
in
honey,
this
bunny,
one?
be
Okay.
cool. Yep, that is
Yeah,
absolutely one.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Let's see. That one is just the only one I could think of off the top of my head. But
he also talks about his homie Tony's just a fucking hossa. So I'm thinking they're talking about what's that movie?
Sopranos?
Sure, yeah.
Tony Soprano or no?
I think so.
Swing and a miss.
Well, he comes up with that with So-So as my hero, and he's talking about baseball.
Nope, swing and a miss.
Well, okay, sure. Tell me then, because I don't fucking know.
Sosa was the okay. So, do you remember the movie Scarface?
Yeah, Tony from
Yeah.
Right. So
Gotcha.
when
Tony Montana.
There you go.
he goes down to meet his connection. Sosa was the dude who had he threw that guy out of a helicopter and had his fucking throat cut.
Okay, with the noose.
So I'm more of a Sosa. Tony's just a Hoffa. He's just selling my shit. I'm more of a Sosa was
I'm
the
doing
dude
the work.
who ran shit. Like he was the guy. Like I am the guy. You just happen to be my, Tony. I will work with you, but I am the main supplier.
Gotcha.
So Sosa was the guy in the white suit when they're sipping tea on the back and in the helicopter. Yeah, it was a rat.
Yeah,
Cut his throat in the helicopter. That's Sosa.
Okay.
He's the one sipping tea. And also they mention Ghost and Ray. And that's Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang?
Ain't nothing to fuck with.
We'll get to them in a month or two. 36 Chambers coming up.
Oh,
It is though,
Yes.
yeah.
it really is, Brack.
So
And then they have the fuck you pay me. I'm more of a fuck you pay me. That's from Goodfellas.
yeah. I mean,
No,
sure.
that's that. Yeah.
That
We're
was
just letting you vibe.
okay.
Yeah.
So
I did learn something from this song though.
Okay.
When LP says you might have fucking had it. I didn't know that fucking had it was a meme.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, no, it totally is.
Like the sad Ronald McDonald. Like,
Yeah.
I've been fucking had it.
Yeah, I've totally shared a McFucking had it meme here and there. Yeah, I didn't know that's. I thought you were trying to relate that to like a gangster movie, and I was like, I don't know about that.
No, but that was those are all the notes that I had to hit all the notes, and those are all the notes.
Okay.
And I'm gonna shut the fuck up now.
That's
For
fine.
real this time.
We can go into the song that has my favorite title, which is Holy Calamafuck, or as I called it earlier, Calamafuck. Because I was thinking Calamity, but y'all were thinking I don't know, Kalamazoo. I don't know. I guess that's the way he said
Down
it before.
at Kalamazoo.
But I
No,
was
it's
thinking
Holy
Calamity.
Calamafuck. Yeah, for sure.
But I liked this song. It's longer than I usually like songs to be, but I like the fact that it had like 2 acts, if you will. So I thought that was a lot of fun, and I thought the way they did it was well done. I really enjoyed it. There's a line in here too. I'm having trouble thinking off the top of my head. But there's a line in here too that I really, as soon as I think
Is it had a case of the Mondays on fire?
that's one of them. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, this song was another one that just had some. I just remembered. They refer to. He says, "God damn, somebody call the Amber Lamp." And it just
yeah,
makes me
epic beard gag or whatever.
It makes me where the Abalam, and then like all of the remixes that were done, like the Black Betty Abalam, just
little ram jam action.
Yeah, dude, I love the callback to that. Another meme callback. I love it a lot. Also refers to Clockwork Orange in this towards the beginning of the song, which I thought was fun. Good song
for sure. Nate, what do you think about this? Or at least let's talk about the first part before we get into the second part.
Oh, the first part where it's like where they're just kind of being like braggadocious again and like talking about how they're like coming up and shit like that. And then the second part is like, fuck yeah, I told you we made it. Like shit like that. Hold on. Yeah, this song is honestly it's a good song, but it's probably on my lower end of the songs on this album. I don't know why. I think it's just because I get so excited for the next few songs that are coming. I'm just like, when I'm listening to it in order, I'm just
waiting.
All right, I just want to hear Goonies verse Eno, and then the next few,
which
for sure.
It's still a great song. I'm just saying it's one of my lower on the.
I feel you. I mean, I liked that they did the 2 acts there. I thought that just, but it does run it straight into. That was another kind of fire song.
Yeah.
So we can go into that unless Shane has more.
No, we're not done here. So holy calamafuck. This is
Calamafuck.
Here's the thing. Anyway, whatever the fuck. So when we look through the tracks, we go to Yankee and the Brave, Ooh La La, Out of Sight, and then Holy Calamafuck. Now this is the
transition
point of the album where we switch from we're being hype and we're talking shit to where we get introspective.
Gotcha.
This is a very I think this is one of the the fulcrum of this entire album. So we start here with like Cuddy Ranks, who is a Jamaican dance party person. We have the Clockwork Orange stuff and all that kind of fun stuff. And then there's a term that LP comes up with. It's the pyrotechnicus, and that's basically like that old razzle dazzle. He talks about that.
Yeah,
what he's saying is that the technetics are those are the people who like made Google, who made Facebook, who made Snapchat, and all that kind of stuff. And what commenting on is is that we are giving these people power, but on the other side of the coin, they're taking our freedom, our liberties from us. Does that make sense? Like when you sign up for Facebook, you give up your liberties.
They track everything, basically, yeah.
Because they track fucking everything. And they try to be like, oh, we're good for the environment, we're all this and all that bullshit. But the fact is, that's why he calls them that, because think of it like a magician, like a street magician. They're going to throw a pyrotechnic to distract you and then fucking rob you, then they take your wallet out on the other side.
Run your jewels.
On one hand, yeah, they run the jewels, but yeah.
I mean, we could talk.
Sure.
We could talk about how Apple knew about the child slave labor for the last 3 years and didn't say anything. But that came out after this album did.
But
that just shows that like shit doesn't change.
Right. It really does.
That's the whole point. I mean, that's really one of the tiers of this industry, odious industries doing these things that are against human liberties and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, man. Like, not to get super heavy, but the point of a business is to make money, and when something gets that big, they're gonna find a way to make money, and it's gonna hurt. And say what you want about it, but that's how it's always been. That's how it's always gonna be. From the fucking railroads and slavery in the early country history to look at world history to get outside of the U.S., and it's all the same.
Well, here's my counter argument. What they're trying to do is be like D-Ray fucking White.
No, I get you. They're trying to break the system or subvert the system, or at least, if nothing else, bring a visibility to it. And
exactly, and that's their whole point. Is they're trying to make social issues fair public because of these things, right?
Yeah, but they also make a good point. Fuck, I don't remember which song it's in, but they also make a good point. I think it's actually coming up in Walking in the Snow. They make a good point about you go on a Twitter rant and feel good about yourself, but that's all you're gonna do about it.
Yeah, we'll get there. But anyway, back to this song. What they do is And then in the middle, LP ends the song on, or ends the first part of the song on, I got a case of the Mondays on fire. Then it slows down. So this album in general, it's all hot and hot and hot and hot and hot about all this stuff, and slows the fuck down.
Yeah.
And now we're not being braggadocious or they're not being so braggadocious or overzealous or anything like that. They're now looking introspectively. So if you go further into the album, it's more looking at it's being self-reflective, mirror to society that this song is the point in which they do that.
Yeah,
and if I'm not mistaken, this is where side. Oh, sorry, I was just gonna say, if I'm not mistaken, this is where side A flips to side B too on like the vinyl
On the actual album, really?
On the actual album, yeah.
You're the authority. You have it. So.
Yeah, I was gonna look
really
at
where
it
it
real
is?
quick, but I believe so. Like it's a 4-side press, so
Yeah.
I believe that's where the.
I kind of like the second half of this song better than the first half, if I'm being perfectly honest. I just do. I don't have like a deep reason for it. I just
Yeah. So the first part is to get your attention. I feel like what they did was this is hype, get your attention. And now that we have your attention, I'm going to tell you I'm going to drop some science on your ass. And now here are the things that are here are issues within our society that we need to talk about.
yeah.
And especially the fucking one of the first lines LP says is reality sucks dick. How's that for wisdom?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was actually gonna mention that line too.
It's a fucking great line. Reality does suck dick. Why we do things like that's why we have so much escapism. But I think the problem with 2020 is that we didn't have that. We couldn't. Had to be more introspective.
Sure. I mean, I still drank a lot.
Oh Jesus! I was down to like 205. Then the fucking pandemic hit. Now I'm back up to 240. Like I've gained like 35 pounds of beer weight.
I'm not even weighing myself. I'm done with that. I was
man. It's probably
I was where I was where my body's happy before the pandemic, and now, man, a lot of cookies and beer, and I'm not weighing myself right now. I just ain't gonna do it.
I've always been a skinny white bitch, so I mean, fucking clear liquors and seltzers and shit.
Me too, but I like beer too much, and I know that I'm prone to a beer gut, especially after living for Houston for a year, where I gained like 30 pounds of beer gut. That I'm smart enough to know I don't need to weigh myself right now.
You don't need that in your life. You don't need that negativity.
I really don't, though, Brack.
Fuck you, Scale. You're bringing my shit down. This bullshit.
Just weigh yourself in metrics and kilograms, and you'll feel like you're fucking killing it.
Well, what I'm teaching my students is that your mass doesn't change. Your weight is only dependent on the gravity of the Earth.
That's why I need
so
to
all
live
we
on
need
the
to
moon.
do is have the Earth get smaller.
Yeah, just move to Mars. You're fine.
If the Earth's a little smaller, we're fine. Take some of that mass out in the middle. We'll all be a little lighter.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Well, I mean, we'll be dead, but yeah, that too.
I could dunk a basketball for a little while though. Before
Look like MJ for like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
dunk from the free throw line. Where the fuck you at?
So we move on to Goonies vs. ET.
Yeah,
my second favorite song title of the album.
Cool. How'd y'all feel about this one?
Kind of curious to what your first is. Oh, I love this.
It's Holy Calamafuck.
Any song that says "Eat Gads," like come on.
Eat Gads. What a fucking underused term. I'm gonna bring it back.
Yeah,
I mean,
I feel like Animaniacs tried for a little bit. If I'm not like Animaniacs, but
well, that's
maybe.
Pinky, dog.
I don't
that's
remember.
Pinky. Eat Gad, right?
Yeah. Been a while.
They tried to will it, but it didn't quite catch on. So Nate, why do you like this song?
So this song, I like Killer Mike's verse. The whole verse is fucking great. Where he's talking about how there used to be a time where I see it and wouldn't say it. Now I'm understanding woke folk are playing. Like people are just saying that they're woke online, but when shit really hits the fan, they're not out there doing anything about it. It's just like their updates are like, yeah, it's just a fucking good song. I love this song.
I liked Bad News Bear on the lawn with big claws on.
Yeah.
What about you, Shane?
Oh, it's a great song. I love. I feel like this whole song, they're both making a platform. LP is talking about basically how the planet is fucked.
Yeah.
And we're getting Killer Mike's talking about social issues. There's a really good line that Killer Mike made. Life's a disguise, truth is but naked.
Yeah.
And for me, that's that illusion of who we are and who we want to be.
That's like the
illusion of self. Like we
can project ourselves as a certain identity on platforms, but if we're really not doing it, like, what the fuck does it matter?
Well, it also kind of makes me think of the I think it's like a Japanese philosophy about like the three masks, where you have one that you show to public, you have one that you show to acquaintances and like work people, and then you have one that you show to like your friends and family, and then underneath all three of those is like your true self that you don't really show to anybody. And I think like I know that he's not talking about that, but at the same time it makes me think of that because you have this personality on social media, but you're just sitting at home on your phone during lockdown, eating cookies and drinking beer,
No, that's exactly right. And I mean, you got to think about what you do in your everyday life.
Yeah.
You are not the same person from going to work versus coming home versus friends versus your family.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm getting at. Like,
yeah, we all have masks that we wear.
Yeah.
For whatever social situation.
And that's what that whole philosophy was about that I'm talking about. But I think that, like, I know that they're not specifically referencing that, but it makes me think of that because it's like, I don't know, I've been pissed drunk and broken down in front of at least you, Shane, where like you've seen parts of me that other people will never see because I'm not willing to show that to them.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm sure, vice versa. I know for sure. Brian asked me.
Oh, I know.
So I know for
very aware.
Damn sure. I'm a weepy motherfucker. So like I have no about who I am, but then I have a lot of walls, and I put up these walls for different. I mean, everybody does. We put up these walls for people, and for me, I'm very, very particular about who I let in, how much, and how far they get into my own personal knowledge. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very
and I mean, I don't necessarily think that's what they're talking about here. I think they're talking about people that are all talk and no action. Like they talk a lot on the
their
internet,
couch, sharing, retweeting shit, but not actually being active, like
right
in the cause, like.
And I think that's what they're talking about. But it made me think of that other philosophy. That was all.
Heard, but we'll get.
I mean, it's just another mask. Technology just added a fourth mask. Basically, you have your social media mask now
for
too.
Sure.
For sure, I had some.
For sure.
Like today, I had some little shit. So today, I got a test. I'm doing a Zoom meeting for some kid comes in. I was like, middle of my class, Joel. I was like, who the fuck? All right, so come in. I was like, all right, Joel, who are you? Because I know, like, sometimes kids have problems, like, renaming themselves. And I was like, okay, Joel, who are you? Say nothing. Okay, who are you? Joel, who are you? Oh, you don't know who I am? You can't remember my name, you fucking idiot? You're a fucking troll. So I kicked them right the fuck out. I was like, nah, bro, we're like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And it's but anyway, but back to what we were talking about. I think our conversation would be better led into the next song, "Walking in the Snow."
I think so too.
Lead that into here.
Yeah.
I like the way that this track starts off. How it just starts off super uncomfortable to let you know what you're about to get into. Like
for sure.
It's just,
That's the Yankee and the Brave.
Yeah, it was my favorite part of the song. Surprise.
Who wants to start walking?
I mean, there's a reason I live in Texas. We talked about this. I don't walk in the snow.
So that sounds like you, Nate.
All right. So yeah, this is where the mood really changes in the album. Like this is where I'm joking on this.
So, the mood changes we get into. Like this is where the social commentary hits. It's a stark. You didn't see it from the last song. This is the stark point where the social commentary is going to be very apparent.
For sure.
And you're not going to miss any words in Killer Mike's like verse. Like he says it all, like, enunciates perfectly. You're not going to miss anything. Like, I think that was probably a choice.
I didn't think about that, right? This song is clear as.
I mean, yeah, this is where he gets real. This is where he starts getting real heavy in social commentary about specifically what's been going on in the U.S. Like, I think I mentioned this earlier, but like the Minneapolis police and George Floyd with the "I can't breathe." This is where he specifically says that, where he says, "Until my voice goes from a shriek to a whisper, I can't."
Yeah.
And like,
and I might be wrong on this, but I believe that was actually written about Eric Garner, because this album just dropped like 4 or 5 days after the George Floyd issue. So like, it's kind of another one of those things where like
it was they did this. They wrote this song and made it before George Floyd ever happened.
So this was about was that New York?
Yeah, this was Eric Garner selling loose cigarettes in New York, and they actually talk about that a little bit on a little bit.
So it just so happens that George Floyd happened like right before they.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
kind of like how you were saying, like, well, that's been going on forever. There's nothing we can really do about it. When we were talking about like the corporate greed and shit like that, it's kind of the same thing with social issues in the police department, like that.
Yeah.
Not all police departments, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need to get into that.
No, we don't need to get all political about it. There's good and bad on both sides, and there always will be. And that just until the end of time and from the beginning of time, right? So like, we don't have to talk about whether or not we're picking sides, because I'm not.
I mean, I'm on the side of the not murdered people.
No, well...
the murdered people. I meant to say the murdered people. That came out wrong. I'm on the side of the murdered people.
I mean, I feel you, but, like... I feel you, but at the same time, like... Don't get me wrong, like, cops get killed, too. And so, like, I can't say that I'm 100% anti-cop, because I'm not, but I'm also not 100% pro-cop. Like, and the same goes for... Name a population, whether it's corporate, whether it's fucking society, whether it's whatever, man. I'm not pro or against you. Do what you're gonna do, but he's calling to do more than a Twitter rant, which is where, you know, when I said earlier about where he talks about people that he calls it out again here, where most he gives a Twitter rant, call it a tragedy, but truly the travesty, you've been robbed of your and replaced with apathy. Yeah. We have, right? Like, he calls out people being desensitized to all of this shit, and we have been decades.
Yeah.
The last time we saw
on Goonies versus E.T.
Nah, it's all you.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think even on like Goonies versus, like, they got you They got you celebrating the generators of genocide. Like, I think that's. But like, yeah, they're talking about like kind of that same shit on that last one. The news cycle is just getting more and more crazy, and they have us like. Yeah, celebrating generators of genocide and all sorts of shit like that. Like, sorry, go ahead.
No, man, I mean, you're not wrong. How do you think this country got started?
Yeah.
Like, we're a bunch of white dudes talking about rap right now. We don't know what the fuck anybody else goes through except our particular group of people in our generation. That's what we know. And so, yeah, man, you can't just fucking be on any side. Just gotta take into. I think he's right when he talks about empathy, and you gotta try to be empathetic, whatever. Instead of
symbolism.
Symbolism. I fucking love that quote, dude. Willem Dafoe. Mwah.
Symbolism.
So what's the symbology here? Yeah, you gotta try to not be apathetic. You gotta try to be, and we all. I feel like most people do. But it's hard because you don't know what the fuck people are. And they call it the fuck out here. Go. Somebody else talk. God damn. I feel awkward as fuck.
I've got a whole tirade of
tirade, motherfucker.
Even preceding that, where he's talking about like you're probably freest from the ages 1 to 4, like before you go to school, and like they basically already have your destiny decided on which school you go to based on which neighborhood you go to, but those neighborhoods funding comes off of what your scores are off of the shitty schools, so it's like a vicious circle where you can't even get out even if you try.
They predict the jail population based on your scores, and yeah.
Oh, good sir. Buckle in, because I got right.
Go for it.
All of you are hitting all the things that I'm about to.
All the things that everywhere.
Okay, so Okay, so first off, y'all didn't even mention Gang who shows back
Oh
the
shit!
fuck up.
Yeah.
Also, she is the best part of Love Again. I don't know. First, I'm going to talk about her a minute. She's a badass rapper, and I don't know what all this WAP shit is about. Like all this hype about WAP. Fuck that noise. You listen to Love Again. She is the most raw person on that fucking song. It's all about fucking and getting. She put your tongue up my ass. Fuck. She's a bad bitch. Also, again. Did we not remember Little Kim or Missy Elliott or all those motherfuckers who like bad bitches who talked about fucking and getting their money and all that shit? Anywho, I've heard too much about WAP this year. They're bitches. They didn't break the fucking mold. Anyway, Gangsta Boo shows the fuck back up. Glad she's here. She's awesome. Secondly, here we go. Okay, so LP gets on at the opening of the song. LP gets on to the idea. Oh, hold on. Before I get there, this is a rock song that happens to have hip hop on top of it. Like,
yeah, I can see that for sure.
It sounds like a fucking like Metallica or Black Sabbath song. It gets heavy, deep into like rock.
Hey, move your mouse around a little bit so that your computer doesn't fall asleep.
I did. Anyway, so anyway, moving on. I have a couple of notes. The first one is LP's talking about basically how are let's just cut to the fucking chase. They're talking about Trump throughout this album. Trump, whatever you feel, but he was shitty.
Well, he was what? I'm sorry.
Shitty.
Gotcha. I thought you said kitty, divisive. And I was like, well, I don't know that he was.
Yeah, he was a pussy.
But
no, he grabbed him by the pussy. No, he was divisive. He was a terrible fucking leader.
Yeah. And, I mean, duh.
And the fact that and LP says what he's pseudo Christians, and it's talking about the right wing, about these zealots who are
kids
right wing
in cages.
And if you are a Christian, you see kids in a cage,
and you don't do shit about it.
And the line he says is, "What a disingenuous way to piss away existence."
Yeah,
you have no fucking.
You lost
empathy.
your mind if you even possessed one to begin with.
If you even possess one to begin with, like that. Anywho, that's a fuckaroo. That's a poignant point, especially what happened to fucking Day. We haven't even talked about.
Oh Jesus, I know.
What happened?
We can pass over. Listen, man.
Anywho.
Yeah. Go.
Anyway. So he's saying that it's basically he's pointing out the idea that how you a Christian and see children suffering still feel the way you feel about whatever your political alignment. That's BS.
Yeah.
Anywho. When Killer Mike comes in, he talks about the prison pipeline, which is basic when he says you're the freest from ages 1 to 4, but the age of 5, all they give you is tests and scores. In education, that's exactly what they do. What we do. This is what we've been doing since the 80s. When kids come into school, they give them a statewide test. By the test scores, they predict and make more prisons because those kids are by the ratio that they come up with, they're going to have to build more prisons 18 years for the ratio of number of students who score low.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
I mean,
anyway,
here's the thing.
Good.
Like the prison industrial complex is a business. I don't know if you heard what I said about businesses earlier. Point of a business is make money. And they also have.
He's trying to say it shouldn't be a business, though.
But that's the thing is, it's a business.
When you privatize a prison, that means you have to put more people in prison to make more money.
Yeah,
exactly. And LP even talks about that, like when they lock them, like they're coming for you next. Like,
and don't get me wrong, not
when the poorest is put in the cages, next they come for you.
And don't get me wrong, not all prisons are privatized. There's a lot of public prisons too, but. That being said, motherfucker, how are you going to privatize prison? Like, dude, I get the argument for capitalism, but that's too fucking far.
That'd be as ridiculous as privatizing healthcare.
Aha!
Right?
Man, yeah, like...
Fucking weird, isn't it?
Dude.
Fun song or fun music podcast.
Dude, like, fuck it, whatever. I don't want to get that deep into politics.
So anyway, if you don't know much about Killer Mike, he is a very big activist. And on the weirdest fucking note, I watched an interview with him on, I think, The View or something like that.
Okay.
And he's right. Don't fucking. Anyway, he was, but he's a very intelligent person. And one thing he brought up was the blue eyes, brown eyes experiment by she was an educator called Jane Elliott. And what Jane Elliott did in the back in the 50s and 60s was that she was pro segregation and anti hate and things like that. So what she would do is she had a group of call them third graders, fourth graders. They're second, third graders from about 8 to 9 years old. What she would do, she'd have a classroom full of white kids. So what she would do, she would look at all the kids' eyes and she would go, okay, there are brown-eyed kids, there are light-eyed kids, like dark eyes and light eyes. So what she would do is she would put the dark-eyed kids in the back of the room. Okay, so I only want the light-eyed kids to sit up front. All the dark-eyed kids sit in the back. And then she would treat those children, as if they were segregated. So, like, throughout the course of the day, if she was doing a math lesson or something like that, a brown-eyed kid might say the wrong answer, and she's like, oh, those brown-eyed kids, they don't know anything. And a light-eyed kid might give the wrong answer. She's like, oh, it's okay, it's fine. You know what? It's okay. So she did this over like 2 weeks of just
conditioning,
harping on the brown-eyed kids, and then making light of the light-eyed kids to give the idea of what racism feels like.
Right.
And after the 2 weeks, she went back and she's like, okay, look, how did you feel I felt like this at, like, and she was against, segregation and the
right.
inequality of treating somebody like this or somebody like that. He brings that up a lot. It's a really good experiment at the time, just to make the white kids realize, like, hey, you know what? Because they're different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
that kind of just happened today. Like you said, you didn't want to talk about the storming of D.C., but like that just happened today. Like the difference between how they're treating white people versus people of color, like it's
and
it's still relevant.
No. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying, like, I don't. So I guess what I meant by that is, man, I try not to follow news about hate groups like the Proud Boys.
No, I'm off of social media and stuff like that.
I try to follow a lot of like tech news and car news and shit like that, because that's what interests me, and music and fucking that kind of shit. Because one, that's what interests me, but two, like I don't want to give providence to these hate groups. I know that it needs to be talked about, but I don't feel like I can talk for the people that were served unjustly, namely non-whites, people of color. Like I don't know what the fuck they're going through, and I feel I try to be as empathetic as possible, but I also don't want to give platform to the hate group. So like Black Lives Matters organized, I'll talk about that. That's all good. Proud Boys organized, and I don't really want to talk about them. Like,
no, I get that. I wasn't trying to say.
I'm not trying to suppress it or anything like that, or like shove it under the rug. Like, and it does need to be talked about, and I think this album does a good job of it. I just I'm ashamed of that behavior. You know what I mean? Sorry.
Fucking
rubs me the wrong way that people act like that.
Aren't we all? Good Lord.
Yeah, it just
yeah.
You fucking
yeah.
Man, you're rubbing your ass in the rug, man. Come on. But the problem is their main leader is fucking egging it on.
I know.
He has no fucking
Well, it's like
no grace or tact.
No, he doesn't. I can't believe that. I mean, I can because it's happening, but I'm ashamed of my country in that fucking 60 years after the civil rights movement, we're still dealing with these issues, with all this bullshit. What the fuck is wrong with us? And I don't know. It's just dumb shit.
I don't either, but at least like I'm glad we're talking about this album so we can talk about that. Like, gives us we can talk about how fucked up shit is. This is bullshit.
Yeah, I was just trying to point out the difference in how they were treating the protesters from a few months ago to today. Like, that's all I was trying to point out. Like, shit hasn't changed.
Man.
Like, I'm not
like
fucked up. A lot of shit's fucked up for sure. It just,
I
I'm glad that we're talking about this so we can talk about it. Does that make sense?
yeah.
I'm glad that these two guys came together to make this so we can talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was a big part of what they were trying to do too. Like, get their word out there, and hopefully people listen, and or hopefully people talk about it. Like,
for sure.
And the best way to make change is have conversations. This is how you make change. How do we make it better? How do we do this? What are we doing wrong? How do we fix that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The problem is we're still going the wrong direction. Like, don't get me wrong. I think for the purpose of like civil rights, the left having control of the presidency, House, and Senate is a good thing. But at the same time, like, we're still controlled by corporations. Fucking lobbying.
Oh yeah, that's what
lobbying was made legal in like the 70s and 80s.
Biden's not going to change.
Andrew knows exactly how I feel. We're a corporatocracy.
We are.
Yeah, for sure.
We are. And
yeah.
If you think that shit's going to change, it's not. Like, we're run by
I mean, the first round of stimulus checks, 91% went to corporations. Like,
the next song is Just. I don't care about the next song for Just.
Hold on.
This is exactly what we're talking about right now.
Exactly what we're talking about. Yeah. But never forget that Jesus was killed by the state.
Yeah.
So all these pseudo-Christians who are like, he was killed by the fucking authority.
Yeah, but he's also a story. So, like, the next song is
moving on.
The next song is Just, and I appreciate the premise. I don't like the song.
You don't?
Nah, the beat of this song is grating. Sorry, LP. Like, I don't like the beat of this song. It's grating. It's awful, terrible. I hate it. The message, I get it, and I appreciate it. I actually like the lyrics of this song, but the fucking beat of this song just rubs me the wrong. I don't like that it's in there. Wah, wah. Like, I liked it when it sounded like an fucking holy calamifuck, because he felt more artful, and the beat in this song just feels like he just hit a note and held it, let it for a second, and then hit a note and held it, and then let it for a second, hit a note and held it, and it's fucking great, the beat. The message is
believe what you're talking about. It's actually a vocal singer that he cut up the track. I believe it's somebody like singing a cappella, and he cut up. Oh. I think that's what you're talking about. It's kind of just like, yeah.
I didn't know that. It's awful, regardless. I hate it. I get the message. It's poignant. I understand it, and I'm on board, but hate the beat of this. Sorry.
Well, here's the thing. Since we've been talking about all of the beats, has any other beat sound like any other beat in the song?
That's a good point.
I mean, in this album.
They all share a theme of like...
They have a style, but does it all sound the same?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. They all have it's all very stylized, but no, they are not. They are all unique.
That's what makes this album awesome. They're very varied in their beats and different things.
For sure.
Anyway, I'm done. So Nate, tell me about Just.
So Just is another song that's talking about like social issues, but this one's more about corporations and like the government helping out corporations and keeping working class people down, and like LP has a line talking about like when you get the bases loaded, they'll roll a grenade in the dugout or some shit like that, basically saying like once you start to think you have your shit together, like they'll just fuck you over, like you know, like I don't know, it could be anything, I don't know, medical bills or
Sure. I think my favorite line from LP was my Vonnegut made Atlas shrug.
To your Atlas shrug, yeah.
that's so, did you ever read any Kurt Vonnegut or Anne Rind?
Kurt Vonnegut's Hitchhiker's Guide guy, right? No, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe?
No, that's Douglas Adams.
Oh, shit.
Kurt Vonnegut
that's Discworld, right? Is Discworld? Discworld? Or we'll just play a game where I keep guessing wrong authors.
I think so.
That's the Chronicles of Narnia guy, right? I'm just kidding. C.S. Lewis.
Vonnegut was Waterhouse 5. Very
okay. No, that's a philosopher though, right? 1950s or more modern philosopher.
That's what all the self-starter. You're this, you're that. I'm not a fan of her because she's a writer. But I love that because I love Kurt Vonnegut. He's a snarky son of a... But, I don't know.
Yeah, he's like anti-material, right? Like, I read something about, like, he's like anti-material, anti-consumerism.
Yeah, he's very, like, he's minimalist.
Yeah, minimalist.
But I do like what Pharrell wrote, like the economic
Slave.
Yeah, slave. So I think what he wrote that is that he's writing about the black community. Like, you mastered economics, get yourself a swallow. He's talking about drugs, playing drugs. Economics.
Yeah.
You either sell drugs, get your education, or you can, or you're in a program.
Yeah.
You can get all these followers. Look at all these white people who are instituting drugs. That's my theory, is that economics out of the situation you're in, economics, academics, that's education, program is entertainment. These are the three ways that black people can get out of situation. They either have to sell drugs, be smart, or entertain people.
Yeah. It's also, I kind of look at it as also that we're kind of a slave to all those things. Like, we're a slave to... Yeah.
But society as a whole, absolutely.
Yeah.
What did Merz say? The black man, crack is the way. If you're in a shitty situation, whether one of those things to get out of a shit.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me, what you're talking about kind of makes me think of a fucking meme I saw where it was what's trashy if you're poor, but classy if you're rich, and it was like do drugs, evade taxes, and something else. But those are the two that stuck with me.
So
it was
true.
like it's considered trashy if you're poor, but you get money and you're rich all of a sudden, and evading taxes is cool, and do cocaine, that's classy, but if you're poor, it's considered trashy because you're the bane of society. But if you're upper echelon, it's like, well, that's a Tuesday. Yeah, sorry. This is my little interjection there. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and kind of like bringing it back to that, like that Southern flow with how he's doing that.
For sure.
I
love that. I love that.
Yeah.
But
I think the third thing you were thinking of on that meme, Andrew, was promiscuous sex.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
I think that's the other thing that
because you can be a classy prostitute,
people like,
or you can be a back page prostitute. You can work,
or you can be like a guy that has kids in every city, but it's cool because you're a businessman and you're taking care of them. Or you could be a guy sleeping around, like,
right? Yeah.
Yeah. It's. I just derailed it again.
Nah, it's all
layers
good.
on layers. Layers on layers.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Rage Against the Machine.
He is very against all the establishment.
Yeah.
Yeah, he rages against them.
Yeah, very appropriate. Yeah, never been more apparent that but that's far and the people.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. And I feel like LP tries to make a point of that it's like a class war. It's not necessarily a race war. It's just that races have been on the, like, they've received the short end of the stick for so long. They're already starting off at the bottom a lot of the times in the class war.
For sure.
Like, because LP does talk about how, like, it's not just colored people or people of color that are struggling right now, but not to take anything away from their struggles. But
no, for sure. Also, mention they bring him up as a rebel. I just said, kill your masters.
Anywho, we roll into Never Look Back.
Never Look Back. Now we get more into introspective things.
Go for it.
I was going to say, I think me and Shane are going to be slightly different on this track.
What? Really?
I like this track, but I feel like this might be in your top 3, just judging off of how you've been talking so far. But go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I'm just going to... I think this is because LP, keep looking forward. Right? Don't look back.
Yeah.
But remember what happened to you.
Yeah, well,
So LP...
Well, this song... I like this song, too, and I I felt like so what came across to me here was that he was kind of talking shit about people that use the phrase "never look back." Because like I guess the way it came across was when he hears people that talk about never look back, it's that they're not introspective enough, and he's trying to be introspective. But fuck, man, I'm drunk. I don't know. But it just felt like he was talking about like these people that say never look back don't want to acknowledge their failures or whatever. But like you've gotta take the past into account to not like fuck shit up again, to not repeat history or whatever. And never look back. You'll only get better. If you get better, you'll never get better. Right. So that line I think stuck in my head as like if all you do is dismiss the past, you won't grow from it, is kind of how I read that. And you need to look at the past to grow from where you fucked up to improve yourself.
Yeah, but what I think they're trying to say is that they see what they've done previously, but they're trying to better from that.
Yeah.
So looking back, you're only gonna get stuck in this cycle of past I did this, past I did that, and like, I think what they're doing is like self-reflecting on the idea that they're growing.
Yeah.
So you have to know where you came from to go forward.
Yeah.
But they're looking back to kind of, hey, here are things that we made mistakes here. Here are things we came up from, but you have to look back to go forward, right? So don't look back at your mistakes because you'll get sucked into this vicious cycle of just being in the past.
Yeah, but
as opposed to,
it's like
I picked it up.
It's like the rear view mirror metaphor where, like, if you're driving, yeah, you want to look in your rear view mirror, but if you focus on it, you're going to crash and burn. Like, if you stare at your past, what's behind you, like, it's kind of like that.
For sure. Like, everything looks better in the rear view.
But
everything looks better in the rear view mirror, but
I don't think
moving
so.
Forward.
I don't think so. I think because I mean he even says never look back. Heard her say that before. Sounds like the type of advice I'd ignore. Like I think he's saying like
so what his mom said never look back, but she was a party animal. So never look back. That's because he told him that, but kind of advice I'd ignore. Did it? Talking about his mom.
Sure, I guess.
So
I guess I just and I guess there's multiple messages here, just like there are in several of these songs. I picked it up as if you don't learn from history, you're bound to repeat it. That kind of philosophy. And he's saying like if your philosophy is never look back, well, then you aren't learning from history. So you got to grow from it. So you got to reflect on it. You don't have to live in the past, but you've got to reflect on it to grow. Kind of what I picked up.
Yeah, I think it's also like question the past too, because there's a line in here where it's like, Daddy told me never give honey my money. Ask Dad, did that include Mommy?
Yeah.
Like, had to ask Daddy, did that include Mommy? Like, it's like question your past too. Like,
yeah, so
because you might hear stuff or think like stuff in the just you have to question.
Yeah, exactly. So like I think he's just saying like, hey man, maybe the past doesn't matter, but if you don't learn from it, then that's also worthless. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think we're all kind of on the same page. It's like,
the whole point
don't
of the
dwell
song
on
is
it.
like,
Don't dwell on it.
don't
Just
dwell
put it.
on
Look
the
back. Yeah, like that meme. Oh, so your uncle killed your dad? Did you ever think about not fucking thinking about it or forgetting about it or whatever? Yeah, that's what it is. You ever think about not giving a shit about it?
Right? It's what it is. It's like on
Sure. Sure.
Yeah, it's the Lion King. It's Elton John should have done this song. Elton John should have done the beat on this.
So we move on to The Ground Below, and I don't remember a whole lot about this song, if I'm being perfectly honest. Y'all can talk about it.
This is the song that's like a straight up rock song, like guitar and
fuck yeah, it is.
It's funny that I don't remember that much about it then.
I thought for sure this was going to be your favorite song when I was listening to this album, just because it's like the furthest from the genre.
I just don't remember that much about it, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Good.
Yeah.
Not my favorite.
Yeah, that's another one of my not my favorite
That's a low light
song.
for me. Yeah,
I mean,
it's good, and it's more.
It's not
just-
to be
bad.
fair,
It's just LP kind of on tip.
to be fair, we get towards the end of the album, and I kind of forget these last few songs. If I'm being perfectly honest, so y'all can handle the last few. I just don't fucking remember. I do remember a little bit about pulling the pin. Just the grenade in the heart kind of thing. Rung out, but I don't. This is another one I don't remember a whole lot about.
Yeah, this one, it's got a lot of, like, first off, it's got the soul singer Mavis Staples. I hope I'm
Staples,
saying
yeah.
that
I think
right.
that's what I remember
Yeah,
most about it.
And then,
never meant much. Yeah, Killer Mike just says, "Hey, you know what? You should privatize sex workers."
I think that's Ground Below still. Yeah,
You're
yeah,
right,
yeah.
You're right.
No, it's cool.
Pulling the pin. Oh, pulling the pin.
Yeah, Pulling the Pin's the one that's like soulful with Josh Home from Queens of the Stone Age, and it's Killer Mike has a sick ass flow in this song. But it's a good song. I'm drunk also. I'm with Andrew on this one now, so I'm just round. So if you'd like to take it, Shane, huh?
Yeah, for sure. This is very. This song is the one where they're most vulnerable. I feel like.
Yeah.
This is their like. Think about it like an album. If you think about this whole album as what they're doing is they get caught. They're putting on Death Squad, and then so this is their kind of like their reflection onto life and who meant the most. You know what I mean? I want to do these things like It's like a confession of who they are, who they should be, like who they really feel that they are, the reasons why they do things they do. So like Killer Mike talks about his mom.
Passing
when she passed, and he was on a fucking plane when she died, and
couldn't be there.
Yeah, and
Told
LP,
that hoe to hold on.
Yeah, and then LP talks about his sister who had some kind of whatever it may be. Man, it's. I feel like this is the most, as far as the music goes, very swelling and kind of. This is the most heartfelt because, like, you hear the background, it's kind of depressing and empty.
Yeah.
But it swells and I think that's why they did that because it's.
The instrumental just takes over too, like
absolutely.
halfway through. The horns when the horns come in,
because that's what they're doing. This is a confession. This is like a man on death row. This is his last confession. And but I think their idea to make this song was to basically look. You're on death row. Tell me your last chances. Tell me give me your last confession. Talking about like, you know what? Here's what I think. Here's what I feel. They just
here's what I regret.
Yeah. And for the most part, they just put their dick on the table. And the best,
it's definitely their most vulnerable song.
Fucking best thing that they do is this is the last song they sing on our album. So this song, it's Firing Squad, or is this?
We were.
A few words for the Firing Squad would be the next one. We're doing a poll.
That's fine. You can talk about both.
Sure, yeah.
You can move into Firing
they kind
Squad.
In my opinion, these two were like bleed into each other
really
well.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm sorry. I thought we were.
No, you can talk about
Firing Squad is. But I mean, they kind of their pre-thought before they get to the Firing Squad.
Yeah.
Then when you get to the Firing Squad, this is my last
it, no
confession.
regrets.
Fuck it. Yeah. I'm gonna be me, whatever the fuck. Let it all loose, man.
They do, and I think I mean because why not, right? They've run with a theme this whole time, so why not go into pulling the pin and Firing Squad? Like, here's my heart, it's on the table, and then roll it out with Firing Squad. Like, never gonna hear from me again. My last word, Firing Squad. Fuck you, instrumental. I will say that instrumental is
damn it,
bomb.
Andrew, you took the fucking words out of my mouth. The best line in this whole album as the last line of it. Fuck you too.
Fuck you too.
I mean, if we're gonna sum up 2020 with an album, as we're talking about this in January, is fuck you too. And
if you had anything to say to 2020, what would it be?
Yeah, I get it.
Fuck you too.
Fuck you too. Fuck you 2020.
That's even better.
But I will say that the outro for Firing Squad was a lot of fun because they loop right back to Yankee and the Brave.
Yankee and the Brave.
So
Yankee and the Brave.
Yeah, and it's kind of fun the way they frame this, loop it right back into itself. I like when albums do that.
So in my headcanon, I think that they were blindfolded in front of a firing squad, and then somehow or another they escape. So it's like a Dukes of Hazzard type of, you know what I mean? Like somehow or another they get out of their own way. So I thought,
well, if it loops into Yankee and the Brave, then it'd be LP coming in the Grand National and saving his ass from right.
Like,
so
I mean,
that's the General Lee. The Grand National is basically the General Lee. You're not wrong on that. It's like a bro sitcom, not sitcom, but like
you could say sitcom. Yeah. I mean, so all right. So I meant to say this earlier, but the music on this album sounds like it could be from the fucking Boondocks, but also Samurai Champloo. And this song is a fucking episode of Samurai Champloo where they're fucking they're facing a literal firing squad, and they come in and get fucking Fu saves them inadvertently. Yeah, with the fireworks and shit. Well, that too, but there's all about like this album made me think about Samurai Champloo more than anything we've ever listened to, hip hop wise, which is part of why I liked it. Because I mean, come on, Samurai Champloo is just one of the greatest modern animes to ever happen. Period.
I think you're forgetting about One Punch Man. Just kidding.
I mean, sure, but
I'm kidding. I've never seen Samurai. I've never seen that one,
dude,
so I can't talk.
Well, it's basically Cowboy Bebop, but with
and instead of in space, it's in feudal Japan.
It's,
okay. Yeah, I can fuck with that.
It's amazing. It's so good, and this album makes me think of it a lot because they run with a lot of hip hop in that.
Jewels.
They run with the jewels. They run with a lot of hip hop in that anime. And there's a lot of like record scratch and like where I say this kind of reminds me of a different era of hip hop, even though I'm not very well versed. Samurai Champloo runs that kind of like record scratch era too. Anyway, Shane knows more about it than I do, but like great show, great dialogue, and this song makes me think of that one episode where they get saved from the hangman / firing squad because I don't remember off the top of my head what exactly they're facing, but super fun. Gene, that's right. Yeah. And they even like it ends with like, and that was the summer of love. It's great. Yeah, he narrates it like, oh man, it's chef's kiss. It's such a good episode.
That is one that I haven't gotten into yet. I'm still working on Full Metal Alchemist. I'm going through my like must-dos for anime. So like I obviously started with Dragon Ball Z back in the 90s, early 2000s, and then I've done Berserk. I've done One Punch. What? I love Berserk.
See, I haven't watched.
It sucks that it just kind of the animated series just ends and it doesn't have a. Did you watch the original or did you watch the CGI Berserk? Because that makes a difference. The Netflix Berserk, in my opinion, is not as good. It's like a 3-movie trilogy instead of a 26-episode series.
I haven't seen Berserk or One Punch. I have seen all of Full Metal Bebop and Champloo and
watching. Hold on. Oh, we can have a side conversation. Why don't we wrap the episode, guys, before we get into
okay.
We're still doing
before we go into anime corner.
We are like 2 hours into it, so I guess we'll talk.
What are your guys' top songs?
So Andrew, give me your top
3.
one song because I know you don't like this.
Fuck, god damn you.
Let's do top 3. Let's see if he has a 3.
Let's do top 3 because god damn it, I don't know if I have a top 1.
I'm curious.
Fuck, shut the fuck up. Let's go number 3 is Goonies vs. E.T.
Why?
Fuck you. No, it's not my favorite. It's gonna be number.
Why is that? Why is it
it's number 3?
I don't know. I like the beat. I like what he's talking about.
Okay, Nate, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Ooh La La.
Oh, good call. Good call.
Greg Nice featuring DJ. It's just a fucking fun song. They like it. You don't like it's. You don't need to listen to it, but if you listen to it, it's good. If you don't listen to it, it's good. Like the lyrics and the scratching on it from DJ Premier's nice. I see what I did there. But no, it's just a fun song. The music video is pretty fun too. They're just like burning a bunch of cash, having a block party, drinking Moet. Like
cool.
It's fun.
Shane, what's your number 3?
It is. My number 3 is E.T. versus Goonies versus E.T.
Nice. And why is that?
Yeah.
That's where they get into. So Andrew, number 2.
Holy Calamafuck.
It's funny. My notes. Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say my notes say Goonies versus E.T. starting of social issues. Right when you said that, like, that's all my notes say on that track.
Holy Calamafuck. Why do you like Holy Calamafuck?
Best album,
Andrew?
best title on the album. Also has some great lines in it. Also has a next.
Yeah.
Nate, what's your number 2?
Mondays on Fire.
So my number 2 is Walking in the Snow. If we recorded this back in June, it'd probably be
God
my
damn,
number
that's
1.
motherfucking cold.
But it's just I've listened to this album a lot, and it's slipped to number 2, but it's very, very strong. Like the lyrics and the meaning and in this is it needed to happen this year for sure. What about you, Shane? What's your number 2?
I'm gonna go same. Walk in the Snow.
Nice.
It's a fucking great. It is so on point with everything that's happened month here. Yeah, fantastic. And it has Gangsta Boo. I just again fucking great. Love her. Anywho, all right, Andrew. Number 1.
Ooh La La. It's the most fun song on this album. That's why.
I have Goonies vs. E.T. as my number 1.
Why is that?
Because I feel like it's a really fun song, and then it also just starts the starting of the social issues and like Killer Mike's flow. Like, it's just fucking good. Everything about that song is good. Plus it says eat gads.
Fucking A.
Good enough in it. Good enough.
All right, Shane, what's your number 1?
Absolutely. Number 1 is Yankee and the Brook.
Okay.
That fucking song comes at you like just like fucking phenomenal. Fucking hits you. And the story.
I mean, I knew you liked dick in the face. I didn't know you also like getting punched in the face.
You can get punched with dick.
All of these, my favorite.
Okay.
It's from LP. I'd rather have and not need you than watch your rotten demise. You still owe me for the Nikes, so you get your, so you still get to
get your ass in the ride.
Fucking awesome. You still owe me for them. Fucking ass. You're not gonna fucking kill me. Get the fucking.
You better run like you're hungry.
In fact, I'm gonna fuck.
Yeah.
So all right, well
Killer Mike did want to point out that there was not a gunshot in that song, so he didn't kill himself or he didn't shoot at the police. He wanted to make that clear.
And also, it reminds me
he actually did say that.
That song where they're just fucking best don't mean harm, but all the disrespect.
Oh yeah,
gorgeous. It's a fucking
rotten. So
yeah, I think it's in Ooh La La where he talks about like, yeah, we're not what you order, but we're what you're stuck with, or some shit like that. I like that line too. Kind of along the same lines. So many great lines.
So Shane, are we doing our normal scale?
We don't do that.
Okay.
Anymore.
I think we need to do P songs.
Oh, you
if you want.
I mean, I think I made it clear just with that fucking beat just hits me in the wrong way.
Funny because that bass
that's what I'm talking about.
Was like a nod. That's a nod to Pharrell. I guess that's not the vocal.
It's droning and awful, and I hate it.
That's just So.
Anyway, Shane, what's your P song?
Honestly, I think Nate.
Mine would be The Ground Below. It's like a rock rap song that it's good. It's not bad, but I feel like other people have done it better.
Like Kid Rock?
I feel like
sorry.
More like Limp Bizkit. Come on, get with your rock rap.
Never wanted to hit you more in the face in my whole life. Instead of this moment, Andrew.
No, I was gonna say like Handsome Boy Modeling School.
I love Handsome Boy Modeling School. You teach you how to use a forkful like salad and a forkful like soup or whatever. Yeah. Sorry.
No, I mean it's not a bad song. It's just my least favorite on this great album.
Gotcha.
What about you, Shane?
Kinda...
Yeah. Plus, Yeah.
You're
I
not
hope
a
2
fan
Chainz
of
isn't listening, but I wasn't really a fan. Sorry, 2 Chainz,
Yeah.
if you're
Yeah,
listening.
I'm
2
not.
Chainz is gonna listen to a fucking
2 Chainz, I'm not sorry.
No. Damn.
Buy a
Yes.
hot dog stand if I'm trying to be frank. Come
That's
on.
the best line that he does, and that's
What?
okay.
That's
at
the
best.
worst. I thought
And
that was
that's
like
okay
the
at
cheesiest
best.
throwaway shitty line. Like,
Well,
That's my favorite line, and that's okay.
if
at
he
best.
throws in a dad joke, I feel like.
I guess it's the only line I remember, so.
All right. Well, anything else, boys? Okay.
What's up, Andrew?
Nate.
Oh, follow my
you go.
OnlyFans?
Yeah,
I'm
I was
just
gonna
kidding.
say. I was gonna ask. Nate, thanks for being on again. And do you have anything to promote?
I'm on Twitch, but I'm like not even an affiliate. So I'm twitch.tv/Nate from UT.
Okay.
All one word. No, everybody that listens to this already follows me. So
Well, you're like the only person that listens to this.
except for 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz, give me a follow.
I think you're the only person that listens to this.
No, Paul Pig listens.
Hey, Paul. Do you still listen? I hope you do, man. I love you.
If you still listen, don't comment on this in Facebook.
And also, maybe Kyle. I hope Kyle still's around. Like, I love Kyle. I hope he's still
Which one?
Purtlebaugh. Yeah.
Hurtlebaugh or
any?
Kyle's a good guy.
All the Kyles
Kyles.
for
I hope
sure,
all
but
the
I
Kyles.
feel like Purtlebaugh's the only one that's ever actually listened to an episode of this. Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong and you're a Kyle and you listen, fucking call me out. I will apologize profusely. I won't do whatever you want. Well, I
Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. You can find us on iTunes, Stitch, YouTube, sadpandapresents.com. You can also find us at facebook.com/sadpandapodcast. Find us wherever you get your podcasts, where we should be on all the catchers, whatever.
Podcast catchers.
Podcast catchers.
If you want to talk to us, do it on Facebook because I'll respond to you, or Shane will respond to you, or somebody will, or Nate will. He's like the only person that comments. Let us know what you think, and thanks for listening. Also, I had something else, but fuck it off till.
All right, so thanks for listening. Thank you guys.
Next time,
we're
don't know.
doing something.
We don't know yet.
REM.
Maybe.
I don't
Maybe.
know.
I don't know. We feel like it. Who knows? I know. It's a prize. Who knows? 2021.
Nobody made it.
It'll probably be. All right, later, guys.
All right. Love you guys. Thank you for listening.